Caldwell from the Pensblog.com on the air. By the way, just to bring you up to date out there in Hartford Country, we were speaking to Steve, our friend from Pittsburgh, yesterday, and we also spoke to Rob Rossi from the Pittsburgh Tribune Review, finding out about where the status of the Pittsburgh Penguins is in terms of, should I stay, should I go type. They've been getting jerked around in Pittsburgh for, I don't know, a good part of the last, well, basically since 97, to be honest. But the people that we thought are suffering most from this are the really good hockey fans in Pittsburgh, and we are joined by one of them now, Adam Caldwell from the Pensblog.com. Adam, how are you?
Hi, how you guys doing? Thanks for having me on today.
Well, good. We're happy to have you on, and we're wondering basically how are you guys feeling? Like, what's the feeling in Pittsburgh right now for Pittsburgh Penguins fans?
Basically, it is a sick to your stomach feeling waking up every morning. For, like you said, 97. It went back, like this all started in the mid-90s, where the whole deal of bankruptcy and us being bankrupt in 1999. It all started from the mid-90s. And ever since then, 1999, we were taken out of bankruptcy. Lemieux bought the team, and even since then, there's been a cloud over the franchise for the past 8 years, and it's been just terrible the last 8 years.
What's the feeling? I mean, right now in Pittsburgh, if people were asked, is it 50% hate or no? The Penguins are leaving. What are you feeling? What are you hearing?
Personally, I'll speak personally first. Personally, I don't think they're leaving at all. Like, the way all of the discussions have been going here in Pittsburgh, and the way that the newspapers are covering the stories, and the way Lemieux is, and the way people are rallying, I don't think they're leaving. But the overall feel in Pittsburgh is most people are like, to hell with it. If they're leaving, they're leaving. We don't care. But that's...
Adam, Batman is set to come in actually into Philadelphia tomorrow to meet with everybody that's involved in making a decision about the Penguins staying or going. What do you think is going to happen from that? They're saying that this meeting is going to bring closure to the whole situation one way or another. Do you think that that's going to happen tomorrow?
Yes, I firmly, if I had to put money on it, if there was somewhere to bet on it, I would bet on it, because...
Yeah, you are.
Oh, I walked into that one. But the NHL, there's no way they can afford to have a franchise like the Penguins with Crosby and Malkin in the face of the NHL pretty much leaving a city. And Bettman's, I think, is going to come in because they have the last say of a franchise moving. He's going to come in and look at this deal and say, you guys have to take this deal.
That's a great point, because the NHL needs all the good publicity they have, and they have all these young stars there. And they say, well, you know what, Pittsburgh, the team with 4 young stars, Saul, Crosby, Malkin, Marc-Andre Fleury, yeah, we're going to relocate to Kansas City, maybe Vegas. And then people who think the NHL is a Mickey Mouse league, obviously they'll go, look what's going on right here with the Penguins.
Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't keep this. If you couldn't make this work, then obviously in a city like Pittsburgh, a great sports city. But what is the problem with the governor's name again?
Ed Rendell.
Ed Rendell. What is the problem? They've been giving out stadiums like cotton candy in that state for the last, I don't know, X amount of years. And right now it sounds like the gap is not as wide as most people think. Basically, the state is saying we would charge you somewhere around $4 million a year, and the Penguins are saying they can't do more than 3.5, 3.6. I mean, is it really that small of a gap? And are these politicians just underestimating Pittsburgh Penguins sports, or Pittsburgh Penguins fans, and the passion of Pittsburgh sports fans, period?
I think the gap is very small. I think Lemieux is trying to squeeze out as much as he can. All these things have been happening with the impasses and him going to Kansas City, Vegas. I think these are all hardball moves that he's doing. And the whole thing with Ed Rendell in Pennsylvania, even during the Steelers Super Bowl parade, Rendell was there and people were chanting, keep the Pens, at the Steelers Super Bowl parade. And the main palpable feeling in Pittsburgh is we hate Ed Rendell because he's from Philadelphia. He'll do anything for Philadelphia. We hate the Flyers. And we feel that he's not giving enough attention to Pittsburgh, and I mean, that's our main hatred for Ed Rendell.
And so what if anything, will the Pensblog.com people and the Pens fan club and the Pittsburgh Penguins fans in general do out of tomorrow, or over the course of the next week or whatever, that Lemieux and the guys say, look, we're done, we're out, we're going to Vegas, we're going to Houston, we're going to KC, wherever they say they're going, what type of movement do you expect? Like you said, some people are kind of exhausted with it, but do you see a backlash? Would you see some sort of hit the street type movement of Pittsburgh Penguins fans that would cause enough of an uproar to keep the team?
I would say yeah. I mean, if we could, I mean, with the site that we run, I would love to organize something huge for something like that to happen. I mean, 5 guys on a website can't do a lot, but there would the feeling in Pittsburgh, if they would announce tomorrow, hey, we're leaving, we would fall in love with the Penguins like we never have before. We would be coming out in droves for the rest of the year. It would be a sad time, but to answer your question, yes, I think there would be a grassroots big movement made here to gain attention of the whole sports community, to look at Pittsburgh and say, wow, look what's happening in Pittsburgh, and they can't keep this team here. Look at this fan base they have here.
Well, and given all that, Adam, you guys are dealing with elected officials, right? And Richard brought up this point yesterday. Don't you think that the fans, and I don't know the level at which the fans are participating and trying to keep the team in the city right now, but given that you're dealing with elected officials, don't you think that there should be more pressure put on them to say that you're not going to be elected back into office to let this team leave?
That's an excellent question, because it just segues into the fact that today, one of the writers for the big newspaper in Pittsburgh, one of the big sports writers, he actually had a column today about our mayor he looks like he's 18 years old. I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of him. Yeah. It was, I think Bob Smizik wrote the story today.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say, I mean, that's what we were talking about this on the story. I was going to say, oh, we got credited. But, no, he had mentioned your mayor because of somebody had died or whatever, and your mayor actually in Pittsburgh is like 26.
Yeah, like I said, he looks like he could be at a frat party, but he's like 26 years old, and as Sarah asked about the threat of them not being reelected, I mean, the huge fan base for the Penguins are young kids. They're 18 to 25, 30 is like a huge demographic of Penguin fans. Like, they've done a lot of stories about that in Pittsburgh about that, and there's definitely, it's almost political career suicide if they don't get something done here.
Well, I don't know where this is going to end up, but I think everybody will be paying attention to what goes on tomorrow. Without a question, Gary Bettman in the NHL wants to keep the team in Pittsburgh, without a question. But Rendell going to Bettman and saying, can you make sure and block or legislate some blocking of the Penguins leaving? Well, if he has, the other side of his mouth, not doing what he can to keep the team there, or at least make it a viable business proposition, seems to be a bit contradictory. But what we will promise you here on Drive This and Hardcore Sports Radio is that I don't know, if it ends up that it looks like the team is leaving and a movement is about to start, let us know what we can do, because again, we are hardcore sports fans. We're also big hockey fans, and if you are either of those two things, you want to see the Pittsburgh Penguins stay in Pittsburgh where they belong. So keep us up to date, Adam, and if you want to lend your support to Adam Caldwell and Pittsburgh Penguins fans, go to the Pensblog.com, let them know what you think. And believe me, these days blogs have brought down leaders and gotten people fired and gotten elected officials unelected in a hurry, so don't underestimate the power of the blog. Adam, you still there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, you went off on a little rant there, so I just let you go. No, like you.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks, guys. Yep.
How was that?
It was good. Did it come off okay?
Yeah, it was good. Just stay with us. I mean, we'll take our show down there if we have to. We'll do whatever we can. It's going to be nuts.
Okay, definitely. Thank you guys a lot.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep.